Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm here to give you a quick overview of Dudes on a Map. So here's what you'll see the first time you launch the Dudes on a Map Game Master application. So here we are ready to add our first map. So we'll go ahead and add the crypt. And I have a map already ready to go for this, which is probably the most difficult part of setting up Dudes on a Map. So we've got the map selected. We're going to use a simple fog system. So here's our basic map all loaded up. Now to get started, we will go ahead and add a few monster tokens to the map. Since I don't really have any tokens set up, I'm going to go ahead and use the generic ones I have here. So I'll add a couple red tokens, and we'll go ahead and rename the visible one to identify itself as a zombie. And we'll let the players see the name, but we won't show which zombie number token it is just yet. And we'll go ahead and add a few white tokens for skeletons. And we'll use a little off-white here. So we'll go ahead and set our skeletons in each of these crypts. And once we're done, we will go around and double click everything that's inside of a crypt to hide it from the players. I could have also just set them to be deactivated when they're placed, but I did not. So we'll go around, double clicking each one, and there we go. So we have a few monsters on our map. We could similarly populate the remainder of the dungeon. This generic token can be a huge help in that process. You don't necessarily have to add a token for each monster, but if you want to go above and beyond, you certainly can. So here we have our particularly small dungeon all mapped out. And now we just have to add Fog of War. So to add Fog of War, we just click and drag our rectangles here and carve out the entrance that the players will be exploring first. Now, if you were looking closely, you'll see that there's a secret wall here on the map. And to assist with that, we can add a separate layer of fog just for the secret area. Whoops. So we will go ahead and click Secrets. That hides our Fog of War and just shows us the secret fog. And we will draw a line that covers fairly tightly to the walls here and expands around what we would reveal to the players when we reveal the room here. And there you have that. We will go ahead and save our work, and we're pretty much prepped for our campaign, so we'll go ahead and add in the player here. And since the player is set up for networking better than the DM, we'll have him host the session. We'll go ahead and test our connection. That will report if we have problems, particularly with port forwarding or some other internet connectivity problem. Here you have the IP that players can join over the internet from, or anybody that's on a LAN with you, like the DM is now, can join with the local IP. So we go ahead and put that in here, click connect. We have everybody together. We'll have the player ready. I'll go ahead and delete this guy and add a new token just to show how quick and easy it is for the player to get set up. And we'll have our little hireling named John, and we won't bother to give him an image, but it's about as simple as you'd expect. And the player is ready, locks in, and we'll have the DM lock in as well and start the game. Now we select which map we want the players to join on, go ahead and bring our view in where we like it, and we'll send that to the players. Now the DM or the player can add their tokens to the map just by dragging and dropping, and we'll include John as well. And since the players have reached the bottom of the stairs, we can start revealing the room to our discretion. You'll notice here that the secret fog doesn't get revealed as we carve things out. To do that, really all we have to do is hold down the Alt the control key, and we can reveal that to our players as well. But we'll go ahead and move our players into the room and reveal further in front of them. And we'll just assume that they continue through the room to see the zombie up ahead. Whoops. Now we have to send that view to the players with enter, of course, and proceed forward. Now, let's say that once combat ensues, we want these two zombies to wake up since they're nice and fresh, but the skeletons will remain undisturbed unless they decide to open the coffin. So we just go around and double click on each of those. And you see here that the players only see the additional numbers. The DM can obviously describe them as zombies, or you could, as the DM, just rename them now and show that to the players. Now, we'll go ahead and say that the players fend off the zombie horde as it attacks. We just select each zombie by clicking on it and hit the delete key, or we can click the remove button. So that's just about it. With about 5 minutes worth of prep, we went from a picture of a map to an interactive dungeon that your players can move around in and explore. And with minimal interaction, you can create any tabletop experience that you want to create.